Angle 3-9 is looking at angles of polygons. Our objective is to develop an approach for finding the angle measurement sum for any polygon. The math message for this lesson tells you to use a straight edge to draw a big triangle on a sheet of paper. Measure its angles and find the sum, and then there's a place to record this in your math journal. So, I'm going to use my straight edge to draw a triangle. This can be any kind of triangle you want. Just remember a triangle has 3 sides. Once you draw your triangle, you need to get your protractor on your math template and then use that to measure your angles. So remember, when we use our protractor, we line up the protractor. You need to line it up so you can start measuring one of the angles. I'm going to start with this angle here. Make sure it's lined up so that you can get a good, accurate measure. Move mine just a little bit. All right. If I measure this, I have 0 lined up on the bottom of my angle, and I follow this ray out to 30 degrees. So the measure of this angle is 30 degrees. Then I'm going to move my protractor to measure another angle. So let's do this angle. So again, turn your protractor so that you're lined up on 0. Make sure it's lined up well. I want to make sure I've got it perfect so we get a good measure. There we go. Okay, if I'm looking at this angle, my protractor is kind of upside down. But this line, this part of my triangle, is lined up on 0. So I'm going to follow this ray up to, I'm going to use the top line at 65 degrees. I know to use the top line because this is an acute angle. So 65 degrees, I have one more to measure. I'm going to flip my protractor around. Up again. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay, this time I'm looking at this side of my triangle being lined up on 0. And I'm going to follow this ray up, and if I extend it, it's going to come up here. Okay, again I have an acute angle. It's less than 90 degrees. And this one measures at about 85. Now, the math message is asking what the sum of the angles is. So, I'm going to take 85 plus 65. Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10, carry your 1, 150. And now I need to add my last angle, it's 30 degrees. So I get 180 degrees. So now I know that the measure of a triangle is 180 degrees. You're going to get to do this with some other polygons during this lesson. So as you open your math journal today, you will find a page that looks like this. And you will need to do this for a quadrangle, and then also for a pentagon, since you will not be working with a partner today. On the following page in your math journal, you'll find this chart. And this is where you'll record your totals instead of the class median. So these will be your totals. And for a triangle, this is where I would put 180 degrees. And then finally, if we weren't able to easily measure all of the angles inside of a shape that has so many angles, there's another strategy that you can use. I'm going to use my straight edge. And the directions say draw a line segment from vertex A of this octagon to each of the other vertices except for B and H, because B and H would form a straight line. So I take my straight edge. and draw lines to each of the other vertices. Oh, we're going from A. Make that as straight as I can, even though the ruler's not long enough. It's close. Okay, so I would continue over here, and then finally I'll end up with one long skinny triangle up here. So as I look at my shape, I have several triangles that I've created. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different triangles. So how many triangles? 6. We found out that a triangle is 180 degrees. If I have 6 triangles inside my octagon, I take 180 degrees times 6. So 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So now I know that the sum of the angles inside my octagon is 1,080 degrees.